Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here aboard Le Commandant Charcot, which is Ponant's newest vessel, incredibly innovative vessel that's going to be featuring Arctic and Antarctica cruises all next year. I'm here with Yassim Daoud, who is the head of sustainability for all of Ponant. And we want to talk with him about why this ship is so special in the sustainability aspect. And believe me, it really is a sustainable cruise ship. We're going to find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Yassim, first of all, it's an amazing ship. It is so innovative, so much going on here. Tell us a little bit about the vessel itself and why it is more sustainable than others.
Thank you, James. The vessel is a concentration of innovations. First is the first ship with LNG, batteries, and diesel at the same time.
So it's liquid natural gas, LNG, and we actually took a tour today that going down to see the engines. They are amazing. It's all different. You actually have enough fuel on the ship for LNG for almost 2 months, right?
Yeah, almost 2 months, because we are going to the polar regions, so we need...
There's no place to fuel up there, right?
No. But it's very important also because it's quiet. We don't have emissions. We have less up to 20% of carbon footprint, and without noise. The noise is very important.
Yeah, well, here we're actually in the stern of the ship right now, and it really is. It's pretty quiet, right?
It's very important for the comfort of our passengers, but also for the wildlife.
Yeah, you don't want to be noisy for the fish or the polar bears or everything else, right?
Yeah, and for the waves, for example, and the other thing is the inclusion of the science in this ship.
Yeah, there's a huge amount of science in this, and in fact, we were just watching one of the first was not a passenger cruise. You actually went to the North Pole, right?
Yeah, in this ship, especially, we have 2 spaces for the scientists. One space for with a direct access to the sea, to be able to do measurements, take samples, and another space with different equipments to analyze, the samples of air, of water, or of ice, for example. And we will have 4 cabins dedicated to scientists, and we will have a scientist coordinator on board.
Yeah, and actually, you as guests can be part of the science, right?
Of course, it's one of our new activity on board of Charcot. All the passengers will have the possibility to participate to the science activities. It is a citizen science on board, and something really new with a lot of experience.
Well, and also internally, there's no plastics on board. Talk a little bit about that. We were talking about the shampoo and all the bottles there, and you have your own water container, which is something a lot of other companies are putting through, but you really take it to an extreme. You do a lot.
Yeah, we progressed in the plastic elimination since 3 or 4 years ago, and the Commandant Charcot is the first vessel with 0 single-use plastics. We replaced all the shampoo, the shower gel bottles, the water bottles. Now all the water is produced in the ship and is bottled in the ship.
That's what I think is amazing. And you can have sparkling or you can have flat water too, right?
Of course. And I think the taste is good.
The taste is pretty good. I just had it for lunch. We had it today. And it's interesting because it is produced there. So everything is recycled and gone through. So that's amazing. Any other sustainable things and recycled things on the ship?
Yeah, all the packagings, all the waste is recycled. The cardboard, the metal cans, everything is recycled. Even the bottles, the glass bottles, everything is recycled. We have also the last generation of incinerators here without smoke.
Yeah, that's interesting because you actually kind of burn the smoke, I think, is what you do, right?
This is a new generation of incinerators without any smoke and without pollution. So when you are in the polar regions, we cannot disembark our waste. So we have our own incinerator to be able to manage all the waste on board.
Well, you're going to these regions like the North Pole and the Antarctica where you really can't leave anything behind, right?
No. No, even if it is permitted, our own rules prohibit. We prohibit any waste in the sea, any pollution to the sea, not only in the polar regions but all over the world.
Well, I can tell you that we are on a very sustainable ship, but that doesn't mean we have to skimp on a few comforts. We're actually standing, we're waving a little bit because we are in the North Atlantic here on a dry run, basically a test run of the ship. And last night you and I both had a wonderful dining experience in an Alain Ducasse restaurant. So that's not too bad, huh?
Not too bad. Comfort and sustainability are good together, and also I can say that all the food is selected to be produced with the best practices.
So you are really local food, sort of the practice of getting local ingredients, things like that.
Less chemicals, less toxic. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is, and it's wonderful. Let me tell you, it is Alain Ducasse. It's the only Alain Ducasse restaurant at sea. Ponant has had an affiliation with Ducasse, does have one, but this is really designated as an Alain Ducasse restaurant. So you can be sustainable, you can be luxurious, and have a great time as well.
Yeah, I think that it's good and also it's safe.
Safe. Well, safe. That's the biggest thing, And we learned if say you're going up to the North Pole, how are you going to get back? Well, we just saw a presentation say they did get back, and it wasn't that hard. I even asked the captain just now. I said, "Did you run into any place in the ice where you had to stop and you got stuck?" He said, "No, we never got stuck." So I was kind of interested to hear that, right?
Yeah, and in the dry run, the cruise allowed some polar bears to come to the ship, not the ship going to the polar bear.
Yeah, the polar bears were more curious in the ship, I think, that they wanted to come by and see who's crazy enough to go to the North Pole, right? And you saw some whales, I believe, too.
Yeah, whales, bears, and other animals, because the noise is very low, so we don't disturb the wildlife.
Yeah, in fact, probably the bears were like, "Hey, what the heck is that? What's going on here?" So that was great. Anything else you want to tell our viewers about sustainability on this ship, particular? Because this is another level, right? This is another level of sustainability, right?
It's another level of sustainability in our company, and all we are doing here, we will also do the same thing in the rest of the fleet.
So you're going to bring these practices across to the rest of the fleet. Now this is a special one because this is a Polar Class 2. That means it's like we were talking about the only thing better is probably this Russian nuclear icebreaker, but the other ships are not. They're PC6 and something like that, but you're going to bring all these practices, if you don't already have them, to the other vessels as well, right?
No, yeah, it's all the good practices, all the sustainable practices we are doing in the Commandant Charcot. We will do the same thing to be at the high level of sustainability in all the fleets and in our company. And maybe I can talk also about the collaboration with local communities. Okay. It's very important for the tourism, the sustainable tourism also. We will have a collaboration with the Greenlanding...
the Inuit tribes, the Eskimo.
Right. Yeah, of course, in the east side of Greenland. So we will talk together to develop new activities with this local population.
No, it's great. We just saw during this North Pole excursion. You actually had Inuits on the expedition with you, and increasing. You'll be able, as guests, to interact up there with the Greenland cruises, and I think you have 4 North Pole cruises next July, which for guests. This particular one was sort of a dry run, see if they could do it, and you did it. So now the next year it's going to be you as guests can go to the North Pole.
We had both 2 first Greenlanding guys in the North Pole.
Yeah, I know. I saw them. They're out there. They're giving you a few clues because they kind of know what's going on, right?
No, but I think for them it's also something very important to share their knowledge and their culture with our passengers, and we will try to work together on that to improve that. And in 2019 I hosted a Greenlanding youth girl in Marseille in our headquarters to work on that. How can we improve sharing cultures? How can we improve our collaboration, our partnership to protect also this Greenlanding culture?
No, and absolutely, you need to do that. So that is part of sustainability. Is to the native culture should be given a chance, and you get to understand what they're all about. So in America we'd have Eskimos, and Inuits are like Eskimos, the same thing, but they have an immense experience. In fact, I think the captain of this vessel was saying how they knew a lot more about the ice, and it was good that they were on board, right?
Yeah, and also for our captain, it's a new experience. They began training since 4 years ago to be able to be ready for this new ship. Yeah.
Now, anything else you want to tell our viewers? We go out to about 90,000 travel advisors, travel agents out there in the market, and they're the ones that are going to be booking their guests on this ship. What should they know?
I can say, come with us. It's a good experience. It's very difficult to share this experience only with such interview, but come on board and you will be transformed.
Absolutely. So you'll be transformed. This is the only ship that's going to be able to go to the North Pole. 4 cruises next year, but it's going to a lot more places than that. In the winters, it will go to Antarctica, and it's going down there, later this season. And then in the summers, it'll go up to the Arctic. And believe me, these are places that people haven't. And you also do things like the Northeast Passage, eventually the Northwest Passage, things like that as well, right?
Yeah. Outside the conventional, the standard seasons,
right.
We will go the Northwest in the end of the season of Arctic, and we will go further in the south in Antarctica.
Because you can do it as a polar class 2 vessel, right?
So we can go to the polar regions all the year.
Amazing. No, this ship is a technological marvel and also a sustainable tourism marvel. So, Yassim, thank you so much for filling us in on this. It is really an incredible product. You really got to get your arms around what this is, why it is so different as an expedition cruise. And again, thank you. I had a great dinner with you last night, and we didn't skip on the luxury with the Alain Ducasse or the wines or anything else, right?
Thank you very much, and see you soon.
And here we are. We just got a little. See you soon. We got on the Charcot in the polar regions. Well, I tell you right now, it's a little rough seas here, but as you see, as we've been swaying around. But I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.